All right, I'm back. Let's hope that it all works. Let me delete the old one. Or not. One second. Let me get the YouTube chat going. Auto find and activate. Okay. All right. Are we good now? Like I only have the one again. Just caught it. Good evening. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hi, back. What's up, dude? Yeah, I tried. I tried to once again get vertical and not, and I don't know. I'm not going to spend time talking about this again like we did last week, but I don't know why it's not working. It worked that first week that I tried it, and then it has not worked both times. So, oh well. What's going on, guys? John, hello, Papa. I'm here. I'm beginning to think it is me. My first time was last week, and now this. Yeah, yeah. I don't know what's going on. Why it won't do both at the same time. But I'm just gonna hurt myself if I keep going on about it, trying to figure it out. So, yeah. Well, the thing is, I toyed around with it earlier, trying to get it to work, and yeah. Comments are all gone. I have them in my overall chat thing. Actually. So, or wait. No, I did lose them because I refreshed the one thing. So yeah, the earlier things where you guys are talking about what was happening. The bridge fight was funny. Oh, I haven't been watching those, if I'm being honest. I know what you're talking about, but I haven't been watching those. Actually, I wish I knew how. So you guys can't see, but like in my dashboard, like last time it had the different vertical setup, like it was sending a separate thing over, but now it doesn't. I blame posting shorts about Halo Bar. Yeah, that could be it. Did you cast a spell? I did not. I have had a week and haven't finished the last week, but I am good. Okay, well, hey, as long as you don't mind that there's going to be a little bit of spoilers, I guess I'll start by just asking everybody, what was your favorite part of last week's episode? What was your favorite part? I did see some comments earlier of people saying that it was their favorite one yet, for the Seekers, not like overall episode. Because in my mind, the Seekers still haven't delivered the same way the soldiers did, but I think that was mostly just funnier NPCs. I think still, like, yeah, there were just better NPCs. I'm gonna post in Discord that I'm live. Yo, what's up, Sunken Train on TikTok? I did get the combat I wanted. It was very good. It was, I mean, it was a cool combat too. It was a cool combat. Honestly. Looking forward to the escape from the Eyrie. Is that where they had directly run into? Was the Eyrie? I don't really remember like the exact spot that they had run off into. Was that what it was? Hold on. I have things in the wrong place. This should be here so I can read chat looking forward. Talking with you beforehand was the best. Hey, I appreciate it, Papa Smurf. Thanks, dude. Octus seemed to finally find his footing. Thank you, Dice. I think the strongest NPC so far for Seekers always helps. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I do think so far the yo, what up? Yet it is. I do think the soldiers are winning in terms of the tables so far. But I again I think it's partially they had better NPCs. They just full on had better NPCs. Sorry, I'm still looking at some stuff. Oh, and I need to look at this because when I did that, it also took away the gold because, woo, I messed up. So let's do this. Had some great lines too. Yeah, Julian. So, I mean, it was probably the best Seekers episode so far. Yeah, the cold open was great. Great Seekers episode all over. I feel like they found a better dynamic amongst the team. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely finding their footing a bit. Yeah, in terms of Octus last week, holy crap. Alex rolled, what was it, 4 or 5 nat 20s at like key moments. Like key moments. He was freaking blasting with some amazing rolls. That really, I mean, dictated what, you know, where the story went. You know, like things could have gone way different inside with the druids, but he did so well that they just got to like kind of walk through it all. Such a fan of you, Nerdcore. Thanks, Boomer. I'm enjoying both for different reasons. Soldiers had more action, but we getting good lore. Yeah, I mean, I still think we got good lore with the soldiers as well, though. Jaden says, my favorite part was definitely the bridge fight. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This was the first combat that I could truly envision an animated show version of it as dynamic. Oh, I agree. I think the combat design was really cool. Just like the overall flow, the decisions that were being made, like Matt or Julian trying to knock Franz off, the demons coming to form outside of like Mozor and the druids like kind of turning into demons, the ballista firing off and hitting enmity, the fog cloud scaring off the people in the back, like all of those things I thought really well done. Really well done in terms of combat design. I did enjoy that immensely. Ashley rolled so poorly. Yes, she did. But that one moment was so fun where Ashley stood up from the table and was like, I'm just walking around. Like she's imagining Valus being like, oh, just like she's trying her best. She's trying to attack different people. She's repositioning and she's just walking around doing nothing. I love that from Ashley. Like it sucks for Valus, but Ashley was just laughing it off. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Ashley in that. I'm not liking the over-the-top use of Druid cards by Tyson and Octus's ability. Like, you just mean like how over-the-top they describe like the spell and its use. Now, I was thrown off, I will admit, I was thrown off when she wanted to use her fog cloud to intimidate people, and then Brendan was like, go for it, and then it like worked. And it's like, okay. I mean, it's cool, but also like, all right. But this was the first show that made me think, whoa, I can't wait to see if this is CV. You know, I'm with you, Jaden, for sure. It was a really cool one. Really hoping Valus can settle in here. Feel like Ashley's been fine taking a back seat thus far and really want to learn to see more with characters before we swap tables again. I think we will. We talked about that quite a bit last pre-show, though, didn't we? How, again, she's kind of tied to Octus while everybody else has like a bigger sort of mission right now. Like they want to get here and do that. So... yeah, but I agree. I mean, I'd like to see more. We did get a little bit, like the scene with Hannon, the elven druid with all the tree ribs, old tree rib. We found out about Flower Doll and like that sort of, you know, people trying to bring elves into the rebellion against her and that sort of thing. So we did get some, which was cool. Daniel says, I said last week that Valus would have a bigger role and I must have cursed her, so I'm not making any more predictions about that. There's having lopsided rolls the other way around for once. Well, not poor Valus. Yeah, she was struggling. I'm excited to see who the cold open is going to be tonight. More soldiers, maybe, and a Zune flashback. Yeah, so, I mean, really, the main options we have are probably we either get the other two soldiers, right? We get a Wiccan Tyranny, or we get a Zune or Murray. That would be my guess. Either the duo, Wiccan Tyranny, or Azune and Murray. Do we think they have escaped from the twins, or will they have to fight them? I stand by the fact that I think the twins would kick their butt. So my guess is they've gotten away from them for now, but I don't know how just getting to the city does that. So I'm confused, but I don't think they're going from that combat straight into a combat against the sisters. I think the goal was to like get inside away from them and hope that like they'd have the protection of somebody. I don't know. Tyrani's sister sold the fight with their reactions. That was fun. That was fun. The demon sisters brought some pizzazz to that. What CR do we think Enmity is? Because she could take hits. Yeah, I mean, when Britain was like, she took that 28 and it didn't seem to bother her, I was like, okay, so she's got some toughness here. But at the same time, you know, if she's like a barbarian, you know, maybe she just has a decent amount of hit points. I imagine, because she took, what, 2 of them for 28? And then she was definitely bloodied after that. So she's not going to be that. I don't know. I have no idea. But higher than the party. But the party also passed like every saving throw that was thrown their way. Like every single check that they had to make basically went successfully. So, you know, the party had that going for them as well. Also, if you guys haven't clicked the thumbs up button on YouTube or double tap the screen on TikTok, please do consider doing so now. This is the fourth full episode with the Seekers, so we probably have 2 more before they switch again. What do you think? Yeah, honestly, it's kind of crazy because I feel like we had way more stuff happen with the soldiers in 7 episodes, although it was really 6. And I'm like, dang, if the Seekers end in 2 episodes, these last 2 better be full. Because it does not feel like nearly as much stuff happened in terms of like an arc being finished, right? Like, you could literally go through the progression of the soldiers and be like, okay, they did this, they found this out, they continued this way, they were still chasing Sid, they were still chasing Casimir, cool, they defeated Casimir, they needed to find Sid, they learned some information, they went and they found Sid, right? Like, with the Seekers, you're like, okay, they wanted to go to, like, the Vision, and they haven't done that. I mean, they found out about like what happened to the caravan, and I know that was part of their mission, but I don't know. It doesn't feel as like you're following a single thread, but I think it's also because they have multiple threads in their group, whereas the soldiers didn't, right? The soldiers were like, we're going after Casimir. We're trying to get Sid back. Like that, it was like kind of one unified thing versus multiple. So I guess that makes a little bit more sense. Teor flashback. No, we just had Teor in the last one, so I'd be surprised. Teor and Thimble were the last one. A description of Flower Doll as an insult felt very accurate to the real world. Brennan really put, oh yeah. I noticed that right away too. I was like, oh, I think I know what we're talking about. I hope they finish some flashbacks for the rest of the Seekers. With Tyranny talking the fireside, maybe that's coming, although I didn't see that, so I'm going on secondhand account. Oh, wait. What did you say, Jimmy? I don't know what that's referencing, but she already did her fireside chat. That was Tuesday night. I imagine Ace Ventura spears through the legs and Enmity took those ballistas. Ah! It's a great scene there. Hello, Bun Bun, what's up? Glad I can make it this week. Last week I caught those. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I was sick not long ago. I'm still kind of dealing with the stomach issues. The Seekers were mocking the soldiers pretty relentlessly about their roles. That's true. These demons are really scary if they could use their abilities. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the group just kept saving. The group was rolling so high on like every single saving throw that it was like, all right, you know, like we just no success. Yo, what's up, Samuel? Oh, well, hold on. Have they finished some for the rest of the? Oh, you meant the schemers. I got you, Jason. Okay, got it. Louise is up next for fireside chat, I believe. Yeah, I thought I saw something like that. Or are we just thinking that's? Yeah. They haven't covered much ground for how many episodes they've had. It wouldn't be surprised if they got a few extra episodes to advance the story properly. So again, I'm going to be of two minds on that. I agree that it would make sense unless these last two were just freaking rolling, that it's like they didn't accomplish all that much. But I also am like, if they give the Seekers, 8, 9, 10 episodes, that is so long without anybody else. And I feel like they had kind of wanted to stick to about 6 episodes. So, yeah. How many natural 20s Alex going to get tonight? I don't know. I feel like he used up his luck last time. So, but I mean, Alex was saving the day repeatedly last week. Also, Akantino, I'm sorry I didn't see your message. If you're still there on Twitch, do we only see YouTube comments on screen right now? Nobody else has been talking, so that's why. Or wait, where's my... Yeah. Sunken is the only person on TikTok and hasn't typed at least somewhat recently. And then nobody has typed on Twitch. Yeah, so that is why, Ali, is because right now YouTube is the only active chat. I think first 4 episodes end up being set up and last few push. The soldiers felt like a lot of travel till the end. Yeah, but it still felt like more was happening, right? Like it felt like they were making more progress towards their goal. They were learning things about their goal. So I think that definitely is why it feels different to me. Oh my God. Hey, Daniel, is that just re-upping? Your thing? Thank you. Oh, we aren't showing up. Wait. Hey, Mother Nerd, we aren't. Hold on. So now I'm seeing some comments over there. They're not showing up. Let me refresh the thing because we should have a couple comments over there. So if you want to say hello YouTube from TikTok again, Sunken, go ahead and feel free. And thank you so much for I believe re-upping your membership over on YouTube, Daniel. I really appreciate that, man. There you go. There's a hey YouTube for you guys. Dow says, which Mars to stream, but I have to study. I will try to come back here. Hey, sounds good, Dow. Enjoy studying as best you can and hope you do well on whatever it is you're studying for. Alex got his bone dice. Yeah, didn't you say they were like legit draft? I mean, I have some bone dice, but they're not like real bone. They're just designed to look like bone. So, you got... Oh, sorry, let me put my hand up to help it focus. It's not working. It's because I don't have autofocus on. That's why. But like this is a die. This is the D6. And then you have this one, which is your D8 right there. Yeah. Hey, thank you for the super chat. Daniel, appreciate it. $5 super chat. Do we think the Seekers will be able to fly to the Golden Orchard tonight? I don't know. They're not going for the Golden Orchard. Are they? They're going for something with a G. It's in my notes. Yo, what's up, Famine? Also, hello, Biko. I saw you type earlier, but I was in the midst of doing something and forgot to say hello. There was somewhere that was 30 miles away, and then Golden Orchard was 100 miles away. I remember those details. Let me go to my notes. Gerwin. Yeah. So I think right now their plan was go to Gerwin to see what the vision was about or whatever, because I think that's around where the vision was, and then go to the Golden Orchard. But the Eagles were their way of getting out of town quickly toward their destination. I believe was the situation with that, is like they can put some ground on them. So that's why they were running through the gates. The idea is that they would run through, jump on the Eagles, and then be able to get away from the sisters. I believe that's the current plan. is they're going to jump on the Eagles and get out of there. Sorry, Jaden, you said... hold on, I missed a couple comments. I'm gonna blah, blah, blah. Hopefully this look goes to Ashley. Poor her. Yeah, softball. That was a rough week. Rough week for that. Samus says, Brendan's frustration with the high rolls was so much fun. Yeah, I mean, that's just, as a DM, sometimes you're like, okay, well, this is completely negating everything I thought. Jaden asked if I have a favorite set of dice, and if so, can we see them? I don't know if I have a favorite set of dice. I use a lot of, ooh, they're actually not in this room right now. So I can't show you. But I have like a pink and like white mix sort of die that I tend to roll very often. To answer that. I would show them to you if they were in this room. I have this bag of dice right here, along with a couple of dice that are just out right there. And then I also have a little bit of dice in here. And then I have my actual thing with all the dice I am currently using out in the living room at the moment. So. Some lore drops, but not much story progression. Yeah, and again, the soldiers were getting lore drops too. Like, we still learned stuff while we were out there. General lore, I feel like I have a better idea on politics as a whole. Yeah, I would say that there's definitely a different type of lore out there. Once again, hello, Famine. He said his dice were made from alligator and giraffe bones. Ashley was horrified. Jägermeister on YouTube says, I feel like there is going to be a confrontation between Taisha and Octus over her trying to dictate his actions and his newfound confidence, specifically setting up for Valus over the druids. Did we feel like there was, like she was trying to dictate his actions? He definitely had some confidence there. I mean, him speaking up and like defending her and stuff was very cool. You know, like well, one, because he's the one who had the history check, again, a high roll from him last week to determine that stuff about Flower Doll and whatnot. So I doubt Brendan would be that nice to them. I love it when Steven shows us his dice. Well, we'd be doing that. Yes, I definitely want to see how Octus and Taisha work it out, because it seems like she is starting to have the same reaction to him as she does Valus, the wariness. I don't know. I guess maybe I was too busy taking notes and I didn't pick up on like a weird interaction there. If anything, like right now, leading the romance is probably Taisha Valus. I feel like Taisha and Valus have had more, like in terms of romance, I feel like they've had the most like outright, like I'm checking you out sort of stuff. How many games do you get going on at the moment? 2. It's been on and off 3, but 2 consistent. Like I run 1, I play in 1, but I was in 3 for a while. And 4 at one point last year. Alligar's one they're looking for. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. It's Alligar's the son that was with the Barrow Guard. And so that's where I thought they were going. Be nice to Oxus, still fight hard to protect you. Yeah, he definitely was going for it. She seemed irritated. He didn't trust him immediately. Okay. Yeah, again, I just, you know, I missed that social cue on that one, or I was taking notes or you know, whatever it was. I didn't pick up on it as much, but I believe you. So somebody else had a similar thing. Maybe it's controversial opinion, but I am ready to leave Aranessa behind in some place. Great NPC, but I think it would be better to let the players decide more. Not sure if I explained myself correctly. No, I know what you're saying. 100% Samuel. It feels like they fall back on Aranessa a lot, or Brennan interposes Aranessa a lot to lead them to a certain place or to a certain choice. So I get what you're saying. I do think that Aranessa is playing a very large... She's having a very large impact on this group. Now, it makes sense in the world, but it is... Yeah, I know exactly what you mean with what you're saying. Yeah. She's come out that she was starting to feel wary of Octus as she does Valus. Okay. She was feeling wary of Octus as she does Valus. Taisha said that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how I missed that. That seems an important thing, and I missed it. Yo, what's up, Speedster? How you doing, dude? I'll throw it out there again, guys. If you haven't already, click that thumbs up button if you're on YouTube and double tap your screen if you're on TikTok. Didn't we catch the cooldown? I talked more detail about how the demons found the Seekers. I don't think I did. I think last week is the first cooldown I didn't watch. Yeah. I did not catch that, actually. So they talked in more detail about how the demons found the Seekers. I mean, I feel that they kind of already had an idea, but it would be cool to get like the specifics, but they knew they were there, or like they knew that the people that they thought were two other people were there. I do think, however, it felt like Brennan backtracked slightly because Taisha heard enmity or cruelty, whoever, saying something about their ability to see through disguise. And then they showed up and they're like, can't you just see that we're not? Or you? And they were like, no, we're going to kill you to like see that you're not. And it's like, that's not right. I remember you saying something to that effect, the effect that he had on the sanctuary unnerved her. Oh, okay. Got it. I think she's valuable politically for house stuff and Julian, but yeah, she that NPC. Yeah. Aranessa is so much weaker than the other house leaders, maybe because the doors to Fairy are closed. It would be cooler if she was a more powerfully faced sorceress, even if it just buffs spells. I mean, to be fair, right now, she basically combat starts, she casts haste on Julian. Julian beats everybody up. Right? Like, Andy says, Araness is a great vessel for Brennan to get the players thinking and start investigating about Tachonus' plan. Yeah, but if it does just feels like she's being leaned on a lot. Like, even she was the one who was like, okay, let's play a game. Why would they do this? Why would they do that? And then it's run everything by Aranessa. Aranessa, what should we do? What, I just feel like Aranessa talks a lot. Like, a lot. A lot. They basically took a 50-50 shot on what direction to go. Oh, yeah. I knew that. I mean, because they thought they were going the right direction at first. Because when Enmity said that she thought that the two people were disguised Wiccan Tyranny, somebody was saying, oh, we took, we went the right way. Now we know they didn't because the other group went north. But they basically did take a 50-50 shot. I mean, it was either go through the mountains to the east or go north through the Topshiny Forest or whatever. What's up, Boneyard Mods? Bring some of the demons were watching them meeting with the druids, and then they disguise themselves for the ambush. Ah, okay. So, well, I mean, I'd be more interested in like how they watched them with the druids. Like, how did they know they were with the druids and all that stuff? So, Mr. Pithy, what's up, dude? One of them said, I told you we should have gone north, so something that I didn't perfectly. Oh, yeah, I think I responded to that or talked about that. They also don't really have a healer without Aranessa. I mean, they have two people who can cast healing spells, right? Druids are able to do some healing, and paladins are able to do some healing. So they don't have like an outright healer, like a straight up, but none of the groups do. There's not a cleric. And like out of 13 players, there's no cleric, so nobody has one. That's just the way they've done things. It's all backup healers. One of the spells they kept resisting might have been tied to revealing an illusion. Perhaps they resisted so they couldn't see if they were disguised or not, although it certainly felt more backtrack. Yeah, I mean, it could have been. It didn't sound like it was. But it could have been, for sure. Because when they were asked about it, they were like, no. So, because Taisha basically just said, like, don't you have something? I guess because of what she had overheard. So. Grim Knight says, are we going to get a Halavar and Tachonus house war? I mean, right now they're like friends, but also their two biggest threats, right? Like the Halavar and the Tachonus right now get along, or somewhat, like they're allies, but at the same time they are each other's biggest threat. So take that how you will when it comes to, do we think we'll get a war between them? I mean, I think it's unlikely that they'll have peace throughout the whole thing. I will say that. Amon says, do you trust the character that Bren is playing? Wait, what? Like Brennan? What character is he playing? He's the DM. Which NPC? Halavar banner looks good. Probably my favorite of the house banner so far. Yeah, I really do. I really do like that one. I did a little short on it. If you guys haven't seen it yet, they did release the new banner. Brenna's playing. Oh, Aranessa. Like, do I trust? Yeah, I trust her. Yeah. I trust her. I think she's being used a lot, but. Seamus says, Aranessa is leading too much because she's like a lady of the big house. Makes sense why she does it, but it's not fun for the players or for the viewers. Well, again, you know, whenever these things come up, it's not all viewers. Like, I know what you're saying, and I agree with it to an extent. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Like, I'm kind of like, I would probably rather she was less leading, right? But I like you said, I understand that, like, she's a leader of the big houses. Julian is, like, you know, subservient to her, and, you know, he's a vassal house, that sort of thing. So I get the dynamic, but I agree that, like, they're really leaning on her, and Brennan is really leaning on her to get them to do things or to have certain discussions. He's really putting her in there to make that stuff happen. I liked how Valis could have used lay on hands, but Ashley was so afraid she with bad rolls that she just did nothing. Yeah. Yeah, she it was rough. It was rough. Frenemies, yes, exactly, Famine. Frenemies. Right now, at least. Jaden says, to be fair, the demons could also just be lying to them. Maybe they just got frustrated and decided they want to kill them. They realized they ain't worth our time, and yeah. Well, I don't know if they lied to him, but I do think that, you know, they at a point maybe just decided that they were going to kill them instead of worrying about if what they were trying to do was true or not. I enjoyed that one of those druids from Boneyard Mods on Twitch says, I enjoyed that one of those druids really didn't like Valis. Any additional elf lore is much appreciated. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I say we don't know that much about, like, Valis's background and the elves in the world in general and stuff. So even though it was a little bit, it was really cool. It was really cool to find out about this sort of hatred, and that they sided, you know, that the elves had sided with, which we kind of already knew that they were more, like, ingrained with Salandri, their god. But also, you know, like the flower doll stuff. And yeah, it was a cool lore drop and a cool way to do it. Mouse says, I think Taylor is going to be more of a cleric moving forward. He's going to find out the truth of his heritage soon. Yeah, that the ending of the cold open with the whole, like, fairy magic inside of the thing, the lion head he carries around. Like, that's intriguing. I'd like to know more about that. Julian ultimately defers to Aranessa, but he has been pushing the group in the direction he wants to go. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely been vocal about it and like helped with that for sure. I agree with that. A little Bun Bun says, this is likely going to turn into another Falconer's Rebellion, and the houses are going to end up taking two different sides. It'll be interesting if Halavar and Tachonus on opposite sides. They're both on the we want to be powerful and trick people side. So it would be very unlikely they're on opposite sides unless both sides are bad guys. That's my take, because, like, the Halavars want to, like, control through religion, and the Tachonus want to control by being the only people with all the power and ferrying the dead and stuff like that. So Then the cooldown actually rolled 3, 4. Yeah, she just started rolling to see it. It was like good roll, good roll, good roll, bad roll, good roll, bad roll, good roll, or something like that. Yeah. It's like the first roll was like an 18 or a 19 after it actually ended. Tossing in chat for engagement. Thanks, Jay Fran. If anybody else hasn't already, if you are watching right now, if you can hear my voice, give this a thumbs up if you're on YouTube. Double tap it if you're on TikTok, and leave a comment or reply. Type in the chat, even if it's just like a "Hey there, I love you." It helps with engagement. Helps to get more people in here. Helps to push the streams out. So just tell me you love me. You know, just do it. Thanks. Appreciate that, Jay Fran. Jaeger asks, do you think Tyranny is going to kill the girl Wick is in love with if they meet soon? Wendy mentioned it would be interesting if they find her and showing why she is named embodies tyranny. I think that would be wild. I know that she does like have these temptations or do whatever, but I don't see how they recover if Wick and Tyranny find his past love and Tyranny kills her. Like, I don't know how they continue from there. Right? Like that Tyranny is gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Unless he's all like, oh, in the light we give forgiveness or something, but yeah. Strike Wolfie. A question that came to mind while watching the short was, were the Halavar demon relate before the Shape of War, or the demon fully new? I'm pretty sure that's all new. Because before, the Halavar's power wasn't coming from like this sort of thing. They didn't, like, this is a new religion, and they're using the, look, we can convert demons as like part of that. Yo, what's up, Edwin? GS Breck, thanks for liking the live on TikTok. Boneyard says, Airness, I think, is necessary to give Matt a reason to not have Julian just run off on a revenge quest. Grim Knight, does Alex keep the natural 20s going tonight? Yeah, people have brought that up a lot. It would be crazy. I mean, some people are just lucky like that. But you know, I hope Valus gets some luck. That's really, I don't care if Alex continues to have good luck, but I really hope Ashley starts to roll better. Sherry says, lurking, thank you so much for the lurk. Jaden says, hey there, Nerdcore, I love you. Thanks, man. Type in the can't you love me. What? Can't you love me? She might do something bad to her, but probably not kill. Yeah, she might have some jealousy or something like that. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Sorry, Nerdcore. No, it's all right, man. I understand. I get it. I'm trying to see. I really wish the vertical chat worked out. I don't know how to test it and try to really figure out how to get it to work without doing other like test streams, right? But then I end up sending out, you know, everybody gets push notification and whatever, and I'm just doing a test stream. That's just annoying. Someone is going to sage Ashley's dice and sneak Wheaton to curse Alex's dice. So I don't know if they got to do that, but Ashley definitely needs to be saged for sure. Daniel with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Now that the Seekers have killed a Tachonus son in the Einfasen stronghold, will Einfasen fully take the Tachonus side? That is a great question, because now Franz is dead, which was really easy, actually. Franz was super weak, which was surprising. Yeah, that was super surprising, and now that changes the dynamic where it's like, oh crap, a Tachonus actually died. The Seekers did it. Yeah, well, chat, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think that works against the group? Like, do you think that pushes Einfasen to head in that direction? I don't know how to tell you this. I am, in fact, in love with you. Well, Jaden, I don't know what to say to that. Yo, what up, Free? Hey, man, chest faction plaguing me, so it might not last, but justice for Valus. Hope she put her dice in the moon or something. Yeah, we've been talking about that throughout this, that we really hope Ashley has more success. The Wheaton option would be pretty extreme. I agree. You don't need to bring that bad mojo in there. Wonder about the weight of Alex's dice and Ashley's for that matter. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the balance of life, right? Somebody rolls really bad, somebody rolls really well. I think Einfosel will try and stay on the sidelines, limiting their risk. That's the approach they've taken so far, but it'll be a little bit more difficult, I think, once they say that, right? Like once it gets to, oh, the group that you had and that was supposed to stay under your protection in the place fled from there and killed a Tachonus in the process. Doesn't look great. Doesn't look great. Joseph says, also, welcome in, dude. Good to see you again. I think Einfosen will remain pragmatic. The twins were just with them and were allowed to leave, whereas the Seekers had to flee the fortress. I mean, they chose to flee. I don't know, they had to flee, but the people were like, we think it's a good idea if you stay here. And then they were like, okay, sure. And then they left and like left a note that was like, oh, we got to go back to the Golden Orchard. The fairies came to help us or something, you know, whatever they said. Like the stream and boat, don't worry. Hey, no worries, Emma. Hello. Welcome in. Please don't regret. Didn't you know how you feel the same way? Please. I don't. Ghost says, is he truly dead, or are they going to bring him back from the land of the dead? Like fighting the family that controls the dead, death might be more an inconvenience. Wait, who? Like the Ghost, you talking about Theozy? I don't know if you said something before that didn't come through or not. Zawar, what's up, dude? Dope pre-show. Appreciate it. Glad you enjoy it. It won't be an instantaneous knowing by Einfosen. As we know, that is, you nailed that, Biko. That is how they spell Einfosen. So it may have future ripple. Yes, I'm saying it might not be like immediate, but it could be something that comes up. Like I find it hard to believe that it just won't come up, you know? Oh, Franz, you're saying, okay, Franz. Oh, there was, I feel like I did miss a comment about Franz, unless that was below. Oh, no, I do. Never mind. Yeah. Does Draftbone have magical properties? Maybe it does. Maybe it has a little weight to it. But has Ashley ever had good rolls? I feel like she's always had an average of less. No, I mean, she struggles. She struggles. I could see Franz coming back undead. I don't death means as much to its Tachonus. Yeah, so that's it. You guys all seem to think that he could come back. Is it the end of the road for Franz? Maybe not. But also, he was a little weak, and he did die. And I also realized I didn't include in my recap, which did not, yeah. I did forget to include in there that Octus wrote something on a stone next to it. So, I apologize. The Hilvar demons, the Enmity sisters, were druid plants to force seekers into Tachonus grasp, with Moser as a double agent sweeping gates to cover. Journeyman back with the conspiracy theories. It should be fun to see how things happen. This plays out. It'd be cool if Franz comes back as a Death Knight. So he dies and comes back way more powerful than he was. Because Death Knights are strong. If I remember correctly, it's either CR11 or CR17. Let's see if I remembered that correctly. 17. Woo! Nailed it, baby. Look at it. I know my D&D. CR17. Got it. What's up, Mikey? They're definitely making things more difficult for the Einfasen, be that good or bad for them in the long run. I agree with that, 100%, Jaden. Ashley didn't struggle in the bar fight. Yeah, that's like the one moment. Gojo, thanks for the follow on Twitch, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, that fight was her like swinging in and kicking butt and seeming super epic, and then everything's been downhill since then. It's all been downhill since then. Also, if anybody is watching on YouTube and hasn't already clicked that subscription button, please do feel free to do so, because next up is 10,000 subs. I'm at 9,210-ish. So if I can get another 800, I'll have 10,000 subs on YouTube. So subscribe if you haven't already. Franz will 100% be back. It's been mentioned multiple times that they're going to kill someone so they could play with him in the afterlife. Yeah, but this wasn't like, I mean, that was kind of Octus. Oh, no, I get what you're saying, where people said, like, I'll kill you again in the afterlife. But we don't know if he can come back from it, or if he's just going to, like, they'll fight him if they go beyond the veil or something. If that's what you mean. Like, maybe they'll go beyond and they'll have to fight Franz again there. Joseph says, yeah, but I meant the Tachonus twins just met with Einfasen that same night and were allowed to leave. Or maybe did a number on the Einfasen family, similar to the Palazzo, Divino's Massacre, who knows? If the sisters showed up, were able to outright just like kill Einfasen and all of his guards and stuff, that would be insane. Yo, what's up, Stephanie? Franz comes back with undead horse names Hans. Would I be able to join the campaign? What campaign, Goja? Are you want to join Critical Role? Me too, man. I think the answer for both of us is no. Hey, Allie, thank you for gifting a membership. Who's gonna get it? Deb's Dreams. Deb's Dreams, you just got gifted a membership. Congratulations and thank you, Allie. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Franz coming back for revenge as a Death Knight. Did I read that already, or somebody else say Death Knight? Somebody else said Death Knight. It'd be cool if we get an Azune cold open that gives us more insight into the machinations of the Einfasen. Yeah, like what they're doing there in the city. I'd be interested in that. Like what plays they're making there. Like we know, but also like what else, right? Softball says there's a curse on paladins because Travis. Oh, that's true. That's true. When we last saw, like, Tayor had a rough go of things. Ashley had a rough go of things. It's the paladins. Well pointed out, Softball. The paladins roll bad. It's because they're supposed to get their power from some divine being and all the gods are dead. I think that's it. That's gonna be my guess right there. Daniel says, do we think that the Tachonus would want to capture Valus and use her as one of their statue gardens? Absolutely. I mean, they've been doing it with all the paladins, right? So why would she be different? I mean, we don't know if there was like an elf in there, right? And they're into the, you know, elves are a little different in this world, but we do know that other than that, they're like, hey, are you a paladin, dude? Let's turn you to stone and make your eyes glow. Candle Gal, welcome back. Good to see you again. So I have a working theory. Tayor's lion had emblem as a siphon for power, which is why Tayor noticed Thimble dimmed slightly and then glowed with fairy light. Before this, it glowed with filament. He's getting his power by draining magical power from those around him, like via the amulet. That's the working theory. Famine says, like, sub, become a channel member, or join the Discord. Do it, meow, you know you want to. Speaking of which, yeah, we'll throw it out there. I do have a Discord, guys, where we talk Critical Role, Dungeons & Dragons, and more, but there's a channel specific for Critical Role Campaign 4 live chat. So if you want to join, it is linked down in the description below. If you're on YouTube, join the Discord. There's that live chat channel where you can talk during the episode, ask questions. What did he just say? What was the name of that person? And laugh about funny stuff and scream about sad stuff. A little parched. Oh no, guys, prayer for Azune. We can't let the paladin curse get him too. Yeah, but is he safer from it because he's not full paladin? Because he's got some sorcerer. I guess we'll find out once he starts rolling more dice. But that is true, Jaden. There's another paladin there. Grim says, do you think we'll be getting a level up with the Seeker soon? I think everybody's going to level up by the end of the arc. So, yes. I think there's a decent chance that after this episode, they get the option to level up when they're ready. After this episode. Like maybe there's another thing in this episode or something like that happens. And they get to do it. Pilot Boy 123456789 on Twitch says, roll a d20, get a 15 or higher for me to follow. Okay, I'm gonna roll this thing I got from Gen Con right here. It has the D&D logo on it for a 20. We'll roll it. I mean, you're just gonna have to believe me because I'm not rolling in front of the camera. I got an 11. Sorry, dude. You don't get to follow me. I rolled an 11. So yeah, Grim Tancer, I think either sometime after this episode or the next episode, they'll get the same, like, you can level up when you're ready sort of thing. I'll still follow. Well, I appreciate it, dude. Jeremy says, Thimble's gold motes mean she's secretly tied to Golden Orchard soul tapping. Sid's statue might activate her as the next vessel. Paul says, Teor is going to be an Oath of Ancients paladin, something linked with Lenin and fairy history. Well, he's already Oath of Glory, right? So he'd have to switch, or it would have to be something like that, right? Yo, what's up, Jeff? Welcome in, dude. Dino says, soldiers didn't have a chance to level up until their 6th episode. Seekers shouldn't be leveling up for at least 2 more weeks. That's what I'm saying, at least after this one. This is episode 4, right? With them? So that's where I'm like, okay, sometime towards the end. I thought they could have leveled up at the 5th one. Soldiers, they only did 7 episodes. They didn't have a chance until the 6th? Is that right? I thought it was like 5th. Cam says, I'm just not sure if Teor is aware of it or not. Okay. Well, I can tell you this. Travis isn't aware of it. If that's what ends up happening, and whatever, Travis doesn't know. Because he didn't write a backstory. And he was like, me and Brennan are figuring it out as we go. So I don't know that Travis knows if that's the case. I'll say that. But they were told that they leveled up like after 9 or something, right? And then like yeah, I don't know. And like that's just when people started to choose to, as episode 10. Famine says, oh, that's right. The quote opened last week. Didn't Travis not go into butcher the spelling of his character's name? His character's name is just T-E-O-R. T-E-O-R, Teor. See something related to his powers. No, not in Thimble's eyes. He saw like the golden motes, like whatever, the magic, the fairy magic coming off of Thimble, and then he saw the same glow in the eyes of his little dragon head emblem. Lion head emblem. I don't know why I said dragon. I feel like Travis always has some cursed object. Didn't they meme about him having sentient stuff? Like he always had a sentient object in other campaigns. How will the Seekers evade Lady Petra and Raya Tachonus? After spotting the bridge message, does this expose Aranessa's secrets? What Aranessa's secret? Oh, the ones that you have come up with? Well, again, I'm pretty sure the twins showed up to the bridge and the party is running into this area to jump on some eagles and fly away. So I'm pretty sure they're out of the city, like near the start of the episode. I think within the first like 30 minutes of the Seekers being at the table and all that, they're going to be on some eagles flying away. That is what I believe to be their current plan. Whether or not it goes well, that is the plan. And I agree. I don't think Taylor would be aware of it if that was the case. What are the druid's full intentions with Octus after Taisha vouched for him? Well, I mean, they let him go. They let him go. Oh, another thing. I loved the line from Hannon, which was, again, tree rib, elf, druid. Let me see if I can find it. He had a banger line. Where is it? Oh, slit her throat on the stone. Let the earth be watered by her blood. Sheesh. Slit her throat on the stone. Let the earth be watered by her blood. That was a really, really cold line out of him. I really enjoyed that. To just like fly behind them. So that's an interesting question because I had the same thought. Yo, what's up, Anonymous? Because he was like, oh, you see these, you know, kind of like the dudes in Harry Potter, these sort of black streams, these clouds like flying towards you, the Death Eaters. But that could just be his way of saying like short form teleportation or something. I don't know if they could keep up with eagles or how long they can do that. So that's a good question, because at first I was they're gonna get the eagles and go, but I did, you know, think, yeah, well, the two sisters came over as like black smoke. So yeah, not sure about that. Famine says, so not explicitly related to his powers, but to me, hey, you look at this person and notice something, then you look at this thing and notice the exact same thing, applies to me a connection. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. There's definitely something there. Tara gets powers from the Golden Orchard. Maybe they'll discover that way back when Leonin or Lion folk were actually fairies. Totally into the Hobbit. They fly off on eagles, leaving enemies in the dust. Exactly. What's up, Daniel Coble? Aerial fight tonight? I mean, who knows, dude? Dev Streams, yeah, you got gifted one from Allie. Yeah, Allie gifted you a membership, so congratulations on being a member. I wonder if we will get a chase Tachonus ladies. Okay, yeah, that's what we were talking about. And then coming in on Black Smoke, and then, you know, the plan is for them to hop on Eagles. Anonymous on Twitch says, what do you think about the Baldur's Gate 3 TV show? I hope it's good. I'm not a super pessimistic person. So I see something. I like Baldur's Gate. I like Dungeons & Dragons. I'd like more D&D stuff. So I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I think people are going to hate it before it ever releases regardless, because that's the world we live in and people just love to hate right now and it's terrible. But I hope it's good. And I'll probably enjoy it because I'm not overly critical of everything like some people are. So Taisha's tense defense of Octus against Druid blood demands has me eager for Old Path versus Rebel Dynamics to explode. I mean, I think most agreed, like, came around on Octus. Then there was the thing with Valus, but I think most of the druids kind of came around when it was on Octus. They could tell, like, oh, you're not the type of undead that we normally deal with. We'll put on a show of his powers. Yeah, so it could be. Yeah, Cano. I mean, that if that ends up being the case, all credit to Cano Gal on that working theory. Maybe it's gaseous form, lasts an hour, but they could probably recast it. Yeah, I would say I don't know how fast it is. It took them 2 rounds to get there, and I don't know that they were super close. So, Bruce, thanks for liking the live on TikTok. If everybody else is over there, go ahead and double tap your screen on TikTok. It's 10 feet fly speed, yeah. So it said it took 10 rounds, unless they flew over from 40 feet away, which they could have just cast spells on already. Then, yeah. Hyper Knight's episode is still holding out for a new intro. We'll see. We'll see when we get one. Was Octus Green Knight Intimidation and Tilt Judge spell signal growing its ability straining as well with Taichi Post Druid vouching? I mean, some other people were pointing out that there was definitely a little more strain with them in that moment, but I think a lot of that is just having cool descriptions for your abilities. Like that's right. It's just having cool descriptions for your abilities. Yo, what's up, New Dice? How you doing, man? Welcome in, welcome in. Might be Windwalk. Yeah, I mean, either way, I don't know if it'll be a chase. It could be cool for like a skill challenge sort of thing, right? It could be cool if it's like a chase of, okay, what skills do you use to try to outrun these people on your eagles, right? That could be a dope thing. But if the consequence is the two sisters catch you, then again, in my mind, the two sisters are extremely powerful and the party dies. So that's where I'm iffy on any of that, which I talked about a lot last week. I imagine the sisters would beat the crap out of the party. The twins. Demons or Druid Betrayal? No, Journeyman, in my mind, Mozor didn't play a role in any of that. He just started to sweep the thing, and the group got tricked by somebody pretending to be Mozor. I don't think the actual Mozor did anything. Yeah. What's everyone looking forward to the most with tonight's episode? Yes, chat. Answer Jaden's question. What are you looking forward to the most with tonight's episode? How does Valis' El Namri bone relic stolen by Thiazi Fang tied to the telepathic conflict with Hanon's relic? So, one, I thought the fact that we discovered the Night Song is a piece of a rib bone from basically the first celestial to fairy elves who died. Awesome lore drop. That was also really cool. Forgot about that. That was super dope. The sisters seem insane. Yes. To be fair, the demon sisters seem insane and the Tachonus sisters seem insane. So it might just be that sisters are insane. That may just be some sister insanity that we're working with when it comes to that. Forgot about that. Now you bring it up. Wasn't those descriptions told from Wick's POV? So as someone who only knows the light, he's going to see an ability that says adjacent. Cold open and Matt going emo crazy. Yeah, Alikur says, yeah, I really don't confronting the sister at the current level, so I'm even more curious what was Brennan's plan for this confrontation if they were not able to flee. Yeah, and the thing is, I imagine had the fog cloud not intimidated people, that fight is probably a lot worse off in terms of like damage being dealt to the party. Not that I would think it'd be necessary. Like if the sisters made it there, like if they didn't escape in 2 rounds, it's like, I mean, that's either a capture or a TPK. Right? That's a capture or a TPK. Is there a world map available? No. There is some fan-made things. Like there are some fan-made world maps, but they're not official, and even the fan-made ones vary slightly. There's a couple that were posted in my Discord that people collected from like Reddit or wherever where people had made maps. New Dice says, I'm loving any Octus and Julian scenes, so more of those. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing Ashley roll better. Yeah, we talked about that a lot. I mean, that was a rough week for her. Again, outside of the Overture bar fight against the Crow Keepers, she has just rolled quite poorly consistently. So, Eagle fight. Yeah, maybe. That'd be pretty cool. Either a skill challenge or they fight from the Eagles and the Eagles are powerful and help them out. Most excited for Valus redemption. What do you think Valus needs redemption for? A genuine question. Like, I'm not like saying like she doesn't. I'm wondering what it is exactly. Daniel says, I am looking forward to seeing how far the Seekers get on their travels. I hope they get to the Golden Orchard. Yeah, well, if they're going to stop in Gerwin, 30 miles, that's, I think you said you could travel, so like that might be like, well, on an Eagle, they're probably going to get there by the next day. And then assuming the Eagles aren't taking them all the way to the Golden Orchard, that's going to be a multi-day sort of travel, right? To go 100 miles, I think. But I also do. That might be like the cliffhanger ending of the group, right? They get to the Golden Orchard and they see if it's destroyed or not. And that's kind of like the significant ending of the group. Looking forward to seeing if Ashley can complete the Do Something challenge. Yeah, again, I loved the scene from Ashley as a player where she did the whole, she was walking back and forth and was just like, this, all I'm doing is walking like, I don't know. I love that. The fog cloud was clutch. Yeah, so the fog cloud was super clutch. It then getting an intimidation roll was weird. And then it succeeding made it the fight a lot easier. But it would like just it being there was already to me like, oh, that's a great play. Like that's really good. And then it got like even stronger because it intimidated. I can tell you if you're at my table and you're like, hey, I'm going to cast Fog Cloud. Can I not only reap the benefits of the Fog Cloud, but can I also intimidate the opponents with it? I'm going to say no. And Franz, because it was funny, and I wonder what the consequence would be for the first Tachonus family death so far. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit, Erratic. It's like, does that get the Einfasen to side with the Tachonus because Franz died, right? Like, and the Seekers killed him. Somebody else posed that question. I think it was Daniel saying, like, do you think that the Einfasen will now side with the Tachonus because they can say, hey, look, those people that came to you and said whatever, they just killed a Tachonus. Brennan was very clear on the big filament glow, and the other was leaning. David says Ashley always kind of had mad rolling funny enough. Usually makes up with epic moments. Yeah, I mean that's what people were talking about earlier. Was like, does she ever really roll that great? Activating its NBD demons, linking Oakbirch, Aranessa's family, broader rebel packs. German, where are you getting this? Is this like Chat GPT or something? This is just like combining random things. Teor's bracers. Teor ain't even with Enmity. Like, I'm confused. It comes with emojis and everything. Super said on Tumblr about how people are perceiving acting about Taisha. A while back? Talking about the Mamie thing? From like, I mean, that was very early on. Or are you talking about something else? How'd you, yo, what's up, Arctic, on TikTok? How'd you feel about the combat last week? The late game enemies seemed weak. I enjoyed the combat in terms of all the design and stuff like that. I thought that was cool. It was a multi-angled fight though. Like there were three different combatants or sides in that fight. And the ballistas coming in really smacked Enmity. So there was that. So I don't know that like Enmity seemed weak. She got hit for 64 points of damage and was still standing. And then we don't know how, but the only one that to me, I was like, oh, they really weren't very strong was Franz, the Tachonus brother. Husband's comes via Tachonus message. Redemption for how bad Valus did in combat. Oh, gotcha. I thought you meant like a something with her character, not just like she performed badly. Yeah. What was your favorite beat of last episode? I liked learning about Valus. I liked the Hannon guy's reaction where he just like immediately dropped low. Him, his line about like slit her throat, let her blood water the earth or whatever, and then he said something else. When it came to the undead, I don't know if I have it written down, but he's like just talks really cool about. Basically, I'm willing to die because everything I've loved is gone and was taken from me. And now I hunt the undead to the darkest places. And I'm like, this guy slaps. Like, Hannon is cool. So that, I really enjoyed that. Yeah, I'm seeing Jaded in the Discord the response there. I'll have to I don't want to like dive into it right here and there. I'll have to read it after the fact, but yeah. I have to dive into it after. I just skimmed it very quickly. Irvin sure that there will be a table switch after 6 episodes. Maybe it will be longer with Seekers. I mean, it could be. We talked about that a little bit, Allie. I think it could be, but I find it unlikely that they'll be like, oh, this table is going to go for 10. Right? I think they're going to try to stay within like an episode, you know, like I think the soldiers went one too many. I think they wanted 6, they ended up with 7. They're going to learn from that, and then this one should be, because if you're like, oh, this group got 6 episodes and the next one gets 10 episodes and the next one gets 5, right? Like that's odd. And then if you go more, because I always said it was going to be 4 to 6. I can't imagine them like going 2 to 3 full months of not showing the other tables, like, you know, or having them do stuff other than like a cold open for 10 minutes. Like I think that would be difficult, which is why I lean towards they're going to stick with trying to stay in that range to about 6. Going much longer, I think would be strange. Again, it's their show, and I have no idea. This is pure speculation coming from a random dude on the internet. But that's my take on that. I don't imagine they'll go much further. Someone get my boy Wolfric some bracers. I'm wondering what is going to happen with the demon turning into Octus and that leading into some house fighting. True. I mean, with everybody just being able to pretend to be other people, I mean, hey. I feel like a Murray and or Azune opening this week. Looking forward to hopefully. Yeah, so Stephanie, I basically said the same. I said there's 2 options for me, and really it's 3. We're either getting the other half of the soldiers, because we had Teor Thimble last week. Oh, well, there's another one. So we had Teor Thimble last week, and maybe we get Wick Tyranny this week, or we just get Cadigan, or we get Azune or Murray. So I said 2, and then I went to 3, and I actually provided 4. So 4 options this week. Unlucky says, I disagree. The combat wasn't weak. If those soldiers made it across, it would have been very different. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the fog made the combat feel weaker, but they didn't have a lot of health. I mean, Julian was one-shotting them, but they used the flanking mechanic. And there were enough of those soldiers that they're rolling with advantage. It's definitely a harder fight if they were able to make it across the bridge, because they're going to hit more, deal some more damage, that sort of thing. Is Abria a DM on her show? She feels like a DM there. She's DM'd multiple things. She's been a player in, like, you know, other stuff too. But she's DM'd several things. Mitchell, what's up? Says, I think we should expect a big impact episode this week or next week, so that by episode 6 and 7 of this arc, tonight is episode 4 of the arc, we finally see a level up video of Seekers. I agree. We kind of talked about that earlier. And Daniel had pointed out that the level up for the soldiers didn't really come until the 6th episode. But I said the same thing in terms of what you said, that, like, I imagine something tonight or next week is going to lead them to that. Yeah, Jaden, that was another one that I had in my notes. I think in my recap, I commented on that. I also really loved that scene where Taisha's like, Aranessa, we need to hide the stone. Aranessa turns to Bayless like, Bayless, we need to hide the stone. And Bayless is like, can you see it? Can you see it? It's hidden. You know, like, I was like, well done. Well done. Alice says, I get that, but it seems kind of not fair to aim for a specific number of episodes instead of going for organically made story. I agree, but that is unfortunately the nature of a produced show versus just like things are going to flow when they flow. Yeah. They want to do it that way. And so again, there's going to be some wiggle room because again, you had the soldiers go to 7 instead of 6 because that one episode went for so long. So it may not be 6 every time. It might be 6, 7, might be 5, 6, whatever. But like, are they going to go to 10? I don't see that. But I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying, but that's when you're doing a produced show that features 7 or 3 tables and 13 players and different storylines that are supposed to impact each other. Like that's the nature of the beast they created. Jimmy says, I would have to believe that Brennan has a goal or an idea of where to direct them at this table before they switch. Yeah. Again, same thing. Like he got them to where they needed to be for the soldiers to find Sid and make a decision on what to do with him. And then he said, and that's where we'll stop. Right? It was like, okay, you found them. You defeated Casimir. You found Sid. You've decided where you're going to take him. That's it. That's what we call it. And there'll be something similar with this. They'll do this. They'll do that. They'll reach a point and he'll be like, all right, cool. And then they'll move on. They'll make some sort of decision as to where they're going or what they're doing. And then it'll wrap up. Now, Artie said, I assume the demons would be fighting the soldiers as a way for Brennan to show how strong they are. Yeah, they just got hit by the ballistas. But yeah, I know what you're saying, where like maybe the demons hit them and then you see them just like, you know, they used their claw attack and just one shot the soldiers and stuff, but then Julian ended up doing the same thing. So it didn't feel as impactful, even if that was to happen. Daniel says, if the demons had succeeded with their hold person and other spells, the party would have been screwed. When the battle started, I thought they were in deep trouble. Also, same. And so I wonder if the sister showing up was actually just Brennan's way of adding some more stakes, because the party rolled so well on saving throws that none of that stuff really mattered. What the sisters were trying to do, what the demon sisters were trying to do. So it threw a wrench into things. Like, I wonder if they were supposed to get captured. I wonder if, like, you know, not like supposed to, but like that's kind of where Brendan might have thought it was going to end up, because he was casting stuff and the party just rolled so well that it didn't hurt anybody. Franz also, right? He got a spell cast at him right away, and then boom. Good point. Maybe they were doing an all soldiers catch up and then go hard on the scammers before going to their table. I want to see Julian find his mother. I can see it being important parts of the story, whether she's alive or dead. Could be a big character defining moment and make him unhinged. I agree. Like, is he going to become more firm, or is he going to, like, is he going to, is that going to bring him in and kind of crack his shell and make him reach out to people because he's hurt, or is he just going to go full psycho mode if that happens? The Seekers table, aka the 3 DMs and Ashley. Well, and Octus. So do you think the Eisner with the Tachonus? No, I'm still not sold on that swordsman. I think they may end up that way now that Franz is dead, and the Tachonus can be like, look, the people, look, they killed the guy like we said that they had done before. Yeah, but I don't think they were before. What's up, Caden? When the setup was announced, yeah, I mean, in general, they've moved in that direction, and I think that's, yeah, when you're doing something like this, Ali, that is the trade-off. I would prefer to, a different way, but I still enjoy it the way that it is. Piratey Steve says, could be that once all the PCs are back together, we could get 2 tables of 6 to 7 players heading off on tougher quests. That could also be true. Yeah. They have what? Right now it's 4, 4, 5. And they have 13 players. So yeah, it could be a 6, 7 sort of thing. Isn't that what the kids do? 6, 7? Low Bumman says, I 100% agree that the twins showing up was to hurry them along because the Demon Sisters didn't make that much of a threat. Yeah. Strike says, with all them making the saves, really did make the demons come across as less threatening, which was fun, but it does mean if we see them again, they might be a horror monster to a different table. Yeah, so I kept hyping up saying, I don't think they're going to fight the Demon Sisters. I think the Demon Sisters are going to be too strong. And then the Demon Sisters showed up in the middle of another fight, and the party just rolled so well that it didn't matter. So Alex is a game master too, Dr. Caliban says. I'm not as familiar with that. So then it wouldn't it be 4 DMs? Brennan, Matt. Oh, if you're just referencing the players, you're saying those 3 in. Okay, never mind. Ignore me. Full psycho mode Julian would be interesting. I agree. Deb says, I swear Brennan puts Aranessa against Julian's mom. I think Julian has so much potential to be darker in his current state, especially with this whole shadow thing going on. Yeah. What happened here? Did I crash? Did my stream restart? Jaden, were you talking about the 6-7 thing when you said Nerdcore Y? I thought we had a goal going, and I just looked, and it's not there, but we've gotten super chats. What happened to the, I don't know why it went away. There should be 2 there. Famous at bad Nerdcore. Oh, because I did this. Yeah, I'm guessing you guys just got to that. Still good on my end? Okay, cool. All good on YouTube. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I looked over. My thing went away. Like, my page went to like an error where I have the stream up and the goal went away. So those two things combined was like, oh, it shut down. But I guess it didn't. Thanks for letting me know, guys. In game time, the Seekers are about 5 days removed from Thiazi's death. Yep. Mitchell says, I personally think Tyranny and Wikander would be a good cold open because we had a big Demon Sister episode last week, and the sisters were constantly asking, where are Wick and Tyranny? Yeah, that could be cool. I agree. It would be like sort of the other side of it, where the sisters are like, oh, we're hunting them. And then they're somewhere else going, man, I wonder if we're being hunted. You know, like something like that. But I sub at with my friends. I don't want to deal with it here too. It was just a little jokey joke. What's the most unhinged theory that you've heard about this campaign? Well, I don't know, unhinged. Like most of the stuff that Journeyman says in the YouTube chat sometimes. But other than that, I guess I'll just say one that like I never agreed with was that Tyranny is actually the lover of Wick, like the one that he had from the past. When a lot of people were going on and on about that, I was just like, no. And now I think it's kind of like absolutely not, because she has said that she has seen her and been in the same place. But at the time, people were saying that, and I didn't buy it because of like the whole he held up a picture and she saw it and nothing was like all that sort of stuff. So that's just one that I never bought into. I don't know that I've had like a super crazy one. I'm here now. What's up, nerd? Yo, what's up, Mr. Malicious? How you doing, man? Welcome in, welcome in. Do we know if Tyranny's sisters are close to her age? So they're all close in age, they'll be about the same strength. So we don't know. And we also, that's a hard thing to say because we don't know exactly how the demons are created, or if they're just floating around down there, or are they floating around at different strengths before they're brought into bodies. And we also don't know because if she's been, right, Wick didn't know about the real stuff, about the demons, about the celestial in the basement. So you imagine his sister, who maybe did more crazy stuff and gained more experience, and her demon is stronger, right? So there are definitely ways where they can make it make sense that the other demons are more powerful than Tyranny. I don't know if they are or not. I mean, I was thinking they would be, but there are definitely ways you're like, oh, they've always been aware of and able to do whatever. They haven't been masquerading. They haven't been working with the holy boy like Tyranny has been. And so maybe there's been more stuff. Maybe there's been more combats for them, stuff like that. We do know that enmity and cruelty are both a little older, Strike says. So there you also have that, I guess. Great shame, but still made me laugh. That's fair. And do we know which members of the Halavar family Tyranny's sisters are attached to / serve? I think I don't know off the top of my head, but I think we know of at least one or two. I want to say we learned that Wick's sister had enmity, maybe? Was somebody down in the basement with them when the sister was there? I feel like we might know one or two, but I don't know. What are we thinking about potential romantic relationships between characters in the campaign? I'm hoping Cadigan and Thimble, even though we're not even thinking about the logistics of that. Right now, the only thing I see is Taisha and Valus having flirted and stuff. That's basically it. Taisha and Valus flirting a bit. I've seen. I think long haul, very, very, because I have not bought into like a Wicked or anything. I think very long haul, it could be like some sort of twist or thing that they bring in to say that, like, you know, a person of the light, of the real light, and a demon actually brought a demon into the light and stuff. So I could see that for like a narrative. But in terms of just like two people wanting to like do the thing, right now it's just Taisha and Valus. Somebody on Twitter, and I'm going to say it now, I've said this before, but it's been a while. Critical Role Twitter is a weird place compared to everywhere else. It is all shipping and sex. That's all it is. It's just people talking about every character loving each other and romancing each other and banging. And so somebody had made some post being like, Taisha and Julian have such crazy sexual tension. And I'm like, no, they don't. Like, no, they did. They finally shared like the slightest kindness with each other. Like, one of them are like, I appreciate that you helped back there. And the other one's like, yeah, I guess you've done some helpful stuff too. And like, that's it. Like, that's like the most courteous thing that they've done. And people are like, oh, and I'm like, no, you're obsessed with that stuff. It's such a weird thing to me. I just don't get into that. Like, but to say that, I would just immediately like, in no world can you actually claim that those two have sexual tension right now? Like, come on. End rant. Wick secretly is actually a cleric. Maybe he'll turn into one eventually, but he ain't right now. Thoughts on the pugilist? Seems fun. Famine says, unhinged theory coming in. It's all a dream and Hal's gonna wake up and go have tea with his brother at the end. That would be terrible. Using cleric points to quicken a spell as clerics do. And the Shadow Order, where Tyranny came from, I don't know. Yeah, no, that is a theory that's been out there, is that Thiazi is like alive in the like underworld. That's definitely been a thing. I've seen a few pugilists homebrews, and they're all just worse monks. What's up, Reed Barnett? I seem to remember that too. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Again, I don't know with 100% certainty, but also I think the House Tachonus naming convention has been solved for the most part, and that all the children are named after parts of the skull: Franz, Frontal, Octus. Oh, wait. We know some of the other ones too, right? Univere. Or no, he's a cousin. Or she's a cousin. Raya and Petra? Is there? I don't know the anatomy of the skull, so you tell me. Is that Raya and Petra? Are they? You could have stopped at Twitter's weird. No, that's 100% true. No, you guys saying Twitter is really bad, but it's so weird because I engage with all these people on TikTok, on YouTube. You know, I've gone to the Reddits before and stuff. And yet Twitter is just obsessed with sexualizing the characters and forcing them into relationships. And like seeing things where they don't exist. And it's just such a weird thing, man. Like I'm like, what? You know, like to each their own, but what? Octa is also a child and is play on it. Yeah, but the Octus, and so people said something like that before, like it was numerical, but none of the other ones fit that. But he said that there is actually a scheme with like the Primus and his children and all that sort of stuff. So what that is, you know, I'm curious. But also, Dane, I saw you say let's go earlier, and I completely forgot to say what's up, dude. Welcome in. So there you go. I think Taisha and Julian would hear this idea of sexual tension, look at each other, burst out laughing over how absurd an idea it is. It'd be the crap out of the commentator. The person had said that, like Brie had said on Tumblr or somewhere that like she's not against the idea of there being a romance or something, and that person took it and ran with it and was like, oh, they want to bang each other, and I'm like, no. So names after the numbers of child, as if Octus is an eighth child, Franz was fifth. Yeah, as a content creator, you gotta engage, but the Tumblr crowd lost their home years ago. Fair enough. That's close as cranial bone. That would be crazy, Reed. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'd have to break it all down, like each name, because we still don't know all of them, right? Let's see. Mitchell says Petra and Rye equals parietal, Ethrid equals ethmoid, Franz equals frontal, occipital equals octus. The last three are sphenoid and two temporal bones. Oh, so we just need to figure out the other names of the siblings and see if it fits. That's interesting though, and that makes sense because what the freaking logo's a skull. Their logo is a skull, guys. We just got the banner last week. This all makes sense. But yeah, we don't know any of the other siblings' names. But yeah, this checks out. The logo of like the banner and all that is a skull, and then they're all about the undead, and then that. Crazy, but totally believable. Yeah, I'm with it. We met 4 of the 7, which are the ones that they just named. Well, really 5 if you have the Petra and Raya, and they're twins, so they just get parietal, right? Was there a Maximus? If there is, I don't remember. I guess, hold on, let's go to the crit wiki and see if they got wait. 4th campaign. Let's go down. Octus Tachonus. No. So right now, family-wise, it's Lord Primus Tachonus, Petra and Raya, Franz, Ethrind, and then Octus are the ones we know. Unless they also missed Maximus or whatever. That would be it. His father, father was Primus, yeah. Cranial bone theory is a popular one that has been flung around to take no credits in creation. Oh, okay. Maximus a facial bone, 1 of 20. Oh, Ambrose girl, nice. Welcome in. Thanks for that little tidbit. Jaden says, Nerdcore, I'm curious on yours and the rest of chat's listen up. Take on backup characters. Do you come up with them at around the same time as your first character, or you usually come up with them later? I don't make backup characters. So, chat, feel free to answer. I don't. If my character dies, I make a new one, but like I don't have it planned ahead of time or anything like that. If that's true, I wonder if Alex or Brennan came up with it. I don't think Alex got to create the entirety of his family. So I would think Brennan, but maybe Brennan came up with, hey, you're one of 8 siblings, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, oh, this would be cool. Name them after, right? Like, so it feels like it was Brennan. Stephanie, it feels like it was Brennan, but again, I don't know. I'm just realizing we're less than 20 episodes in, and there's so much more story to tell and lore to learn about each character and Aramont. I forgot Xander was a decade worth of world building. Yeah, it's a long time. And it is wild to think we are only 15 episodes or we are already 15 episodes. It's like both. It's like, wow, we're on episode 15. That's really cool. And then also like, we're only on episode 15. How do you guys feel about the shorter episodes? Like every one of these Seekers has been like 3.5 hours. What do we think about that? Daniel says there is a Tachonus Tachonus that was mentioned at the end of the Soldier's arc. Yeah, but with that, was that a sibling, or was that like a cousin or something? Because like Univere was mentioned, Univere Tachonus, but that's a cousin. So I don't know if it would be the same. Yeah, Trimus was in Houndsport. Yep, I remember that. So I need to know for my name theory to be canon. Also assuming I'm spelling the name wrong, but I don't care. It's all good. All good. You nailed Primus and Octus, but yeah, the Tachonus was definitely wrong. Last episode left me wondering why were almost half the Tachonus children just hanging out at the Einfossen capital. Well, I mean, yeah, three of 8. Well, no, Octus was there too, so fair enough. Yep. The skull names definitely seem right. It fits the theme. It really fits the theme. Connor says I'm not super into making a backup character ahead of time. Samuel says I don't make a backup characters too, but I have a general idea depending on the campaign. Crumb says, did Alex read the names aloud when he was looking for Franz? I think he mentioned that he went and looked at a list or something of the names. I don't know if he read them out loud. Somebody go back and check. I make characters, and sometimes I need a backup, and I'm ready. Okay, so I definitely know some people just go in D&D Beyond, and they just make characters. Like, they just have 4 or 5 characters kind of hanging out in the world. Also, welcome to Pop-Tart to the Discord, MHH to the Discord, and Joy to the Discord. If you guys want to join the Discord and talk Critical Role, Dungeons & Dragons, and more, it's linked to the description on YouTube or linked in my bio if you're on the other platforms. If you have not already, if you're on YouTube, click the thumbs up button. If you're on TikTok, double tap your screen. I haven't really done like the full spiel, and we're nearing the end, so I'm gonna do the full spiel. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's free to do, and it helps me out. Again, engaging with it, type something in the chat. I don't even care if it's just, hey, this is something in the chat. It helps with the engagement, tells YouTube that people actually watch my stuff and like it. So let YouTube know that you like it. If you want to support me, continuing to try to do this full time, which is what I'm currently trying to do, consider becoming a member on YouTube or throwing your Prime sub to me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/NERDCOREGG. But becoming a member here on YouTube is really helpful. It's the cost of a cup of coffee a month, like $3, $4, $5 a month. And that's it. You're good. Or subscribe to my Patreon, link down in the description. Same thing. It's like $3 a month or something, to support me continuing to try to do this full time. So that, I think, is my spiel. Thanks. All right, let me catch up. I'm going to start reading chat really fast so I can catch up. I usually don't make a backup unless the world inspires me while I'm playing to have another idea in mind. Deb says, no backup for me. I just have the one character until they expire. David says, for me, it depends. Sometimes backup characters back for backstory for main character, like family or friend. Okay. But sometimes I can't choose to make multiple for fun. Dane says, hey, am I crazy for believing Tyranny is a cantrip short? According to the wiki, she has 3 chosen. She gets 2 from lineage. So they're probably just basing it on what she has used, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that she's like, they don't have her character sheet, right? So they might just have listed, like, we know she's used these 3, she has those, or she's mentioned them, so she has those. So I don't know about that. Bull, what's up, dude? Welcome in. I need more CR. It's coming. I find that interesting. My group and I usually have 1 or 2 ideas for backup characters in mind. To be fair, we also just have a lot of ideas of characters that we want to try out. Yeah, some people are just into that. They love just character building and whatnot. Angry Medic, thanks for the follow on Twitch. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Twitch Prime, which is just a free subscription. So if you go over to my Twitch and use it, that would be fantastic. Twitch.tv/NERDCORE. Famine says, I personally have an idea for a character that's been in my head for years. That said, I don't have a direct backup character. I can tell when my players do because current PCs start getting real stupid. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the, I don't want to play this character anymore. So, yeah. Samus says, I like the short episodes, especially because the episode starts at midnight where I am from. Yeah, it starts at 10 p.m. here for me. So, like, it lasting 3.5, I'm like, okay, versus the 4 to 5 that it was before. Kaylee says, love the shorter episodes to go to bed earlier, but also miss the longer episodes. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a give and a take with it. So it's just like which is more enjoyed. Mr. Militia says, my sleep schedule is grateful. Yeah. Merkin, what's up, dude? It has been a while. I like when players hold off to see what the world has to offer before making backup characters, like how Brie wants to play as an Ironfossen. Yeah. I wish it would last longer with the longer episodes. Crumb says, maybe she forgot to take a new one for level 4. Also possible. Can they make a channel where 24/7 just playing different episodes? Honestly, probably not a terrible idea for them to do. If they just basically just streamed their catalog nonstop on Twitch, I bet they'd make a good amount of money doing that. Like, they would make so much money doing that. It would be like a 24/7 of probably like a couple hundred to 1,000 viewers 24/7 year round, and then some people would even subscribe to the channel. Is in relation to the family, we don't know. Yeah, Dan, that's what I'm saying. So we don't know if it's one of the kids or not. Piratey says, not a fan of shorter episodes, so I'm gonna stay up till 2 a.m. Why not 2:30 to 3 a.m.? Okay, that's one way to view it. I guess you're East Coast like me. Strike says, I don't make backup character until my current character dies, but one of the DM I play with is Blessed Cursed and has killed one of the PCs within the first 3 sessions every time I start a new game. Jesus. Famine says, personally, I have an idea for a character that's been in my head for years. That said, I don't have a direct backup character. I can tell when my players do because screams. Oh, wait, I already read that. I don't mind short episodes as long as we get some really long hype episodes. Yeah, a mix of both is fine. I don't mind some shorter ones here and there. Younger brother of Primus and uncle to Petra. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe it could be something like that. Primus and Trimus. I'm with that, Mitchell. I'm with that. Daniel says, if Reese and Girdle is the main stop between Dalmakiar and the Eastern Lands, it makes sense that there would be many Tachonus members traveling back and forth. Also true. Yeah, so there's an answer for that. Maybe Trimus is the father of Univir. Does it? Yeah, that's, yeah. So 14's opportunity. Ox did not read the names aloud. Thank you for going and listening, Dane. Primus, Duramus, Trimus, Quarimus. That'd be neat. Reed says, I have a backlog of characters that almost welcomes some short. Wait. Let's skip. Welcomes some short high stakes campaigns. Haven't been able to play in ages, though. Oh, that sucks, dude. Hey, this is something in the chat. Appreciate that. Episodes purely on behalf of my focus abilities. 6-hour long episodes are great, but I do lose parts of the story to my weak attention span. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I am catching up on chat, guys, but I still got a little ways to go. I hate missing people, so I'm trying to get all of it. If Tyson and Joel remain in the same group, they will most likely grow to have a strong bond. It could be social, but definitely a mutual respect. Yeah, but they're not there now, is my point. It's like, you could say like, oh, I think maybe eventually they may get there, but people are saying they have it right now. It's like they absolutely do not. I'm a Kobe fan from D4, D&D D5. Theory crafting is a lot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some people love just theory crafting and doing lots of builds and stuff like that. This is something in the chat. It helps with engagement, so YouTube knows that. I forget what the rest of you said. This is something in the chat. 6-7 for engagement. Love the original pre-share. Thanks, Jayhawk. Whitney said in the Fireside chat this week that she still had not chosen her 4th level spells. Okay, so she said, yeah, she asked for input. Remember that. I just joined the Discord. Hey, welcome to the Discord. Starts at 3 a.m. here in Scotland, and the longer episode made me have to pull an all-nighter. That's dedication, Debs. That's insane that you started doing something that you watch literally throughout the night, like early morning hours. If I had the self-control to watch the next day instead of the night of, I prefer like 5 episodes. Unfortunately, I lack that self-control. That's fair. I moved to a new city for a new job. Schedule's been crazy, but getting used to it now. Hey, well, hopefully everything's going well for you, American. Jason says, well, East Coast is rough. Yeah, for watching this, there's no doubt about that. I'm just worried shorter episodes are going to give us less story or more episodes per arc, making us wait longer for other tables. Again, I still think we're going to get roughly the same amount of episodes per table. Personally, I think this campaign is going to be the most structured linear campaign that we've seen. And I think that's already kind of been the case. And that is how they're going to be able to stick to having probably 5 to 7 episode arcs. Because she asked for suggestions. Oh, nice. Guest appearance as Sid. J-Hog, I have no idea. But I do hope and think we'll get some guest appearances. No doubt about that. My question, Nick says, or Nikki, my question was, why did Octus mark where his brother died? Did he want his family to know that he was dead by his hand, or to revive him, or like a respect? Like, I want you to be able to find the body, or yeah, I mean, we don't know for sure. It's a solid question, Nikki. And if people just love an enemies to lovers trope, for sure. Daniel says, one advantage of shorter episodes is that it moves the story along a bit more quickly. I have been catching up on campaign 3, and some of those episodes drag from the players just futzing around. Yeah, and some people love that and some people don't. Again, I wish this campaign had a little more. So again, one of the reasons I think I like the soldiers more is it was a little sillier. I think the soldiers had more fun, and a lot of it was brought about by the NPCs, but like there was a lot of laughter from Teor, and they had the stuff with Wicked Tyranny delivering some humor. They had better NPCs in terms of just being a little more lighthearted than we've gotten from that. So for me right now, the soldiers were still the more enjoyable group. Seekers have moved a little slower and haven't had the same level of fun NPCs. Famine says, my issue is as a DM is I have to have ideas to a player. So instead of backup characters, I have to have backup plot threads. Agreed. Parody says, killing off Tachonus siblings might not be permanent. I can see them coming back as undead. Yeah, there was a big discussion about that earlier. About whether or not Franz was really dead, or if they'll have to fight him again in the afterlife, or if he's brought back to life and stuff like that. Continent they will never go to that is just full of Monster Hunter monsters, and a different one that is a weird amalgamation of Final Fantasy and Aragon. Hey, Aragon TV show, getting closer. This campaign definitely feels more streamlined than the last one. Oh, without a doubt. Sort of an insult. You try to kill me, now one of you is dead. That is another way to view it. Yeah, there are several ways. I mean, again, because we don't know, it's all speculation, but there are several ways to approach why he did it. Like, why did he mark where Franz died? Lil Bowman says, I think Octus left the name as a flex towards his family, saying I'm still here and I'm not happy with what you've done. Yep, same way that Daniel just said it. Candle says, I don't have backup characters. Campaign list characters, they just need a good home. Oh, yeah, I got you. You have characters that are ready for a game. Emma says in UK, geez, I feel you between jobs at the moment, so probably won't last too long. Hopefully won't hate new job too much because of it. Take away from my Thursdays. Well, if you have Beacon, you could always watch it on Friday. Or you can watch it during the day if you just watch on YouTube or Twitch on Fridays. As family regards the dead in the past, choose the mark where the dead passed. So it might be an old ritual thing. Yeah. Know where his body's at. They can revive him. Agree with the soldiers being more fun. Yeah, Jeff, they were. The soldiers were just more fun as of right now. Is there anyone you would love to see as a guest, and who would you have them play? I would like to see Joe again. His whole Vecna thing was just an epic scene from Critical Role. So I think it'd be cool to have him come back as a character. I always think of celebrities that play D&D, and I think it'd be cool to have them come in. And I think he did a good enough job that he could come back. Of course, people from other actual plays, there's a plethora of them to choose from if we're going in that direction. I think a good ending of the arc is to defeat Petra and Raya, since Octus being scared of them arriving only shows how big of a threat they are. I don't know. That still feels like a later on thing. If he can already kill the two most powerful siblings in the family, that just feels, I don't know. To me, it's too early for that, unless I've just completely misunderstood the power scale, which is possible. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Go to grab snacks. All right, Jason, enjoy, dude. What if mourning or bearing its Tachonus has an effect on how easily they can act in death? Also a possibility. All right, Dane. Peace out, brother. Any table that has Sam is bound to be a bit more fun. Yeah, but I think just in general, the NPCs really, really, really helped with that. Shoot for the stars and get Vince Vaughn. I'm down for that too. See, I didn't say his last name because I feel like I always mess it up. Joe Manganiello. I don't know if I got it right, but yeah. Lou Wilson as a guest player. I know a lot of people do. A lot of people want Lou Wilson as a guest player. I think the Twins are undefeatable right now. Yeah, that's kind of where my mind's at. That's where my mind's at. I'm going to say again, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please click that subscription button if you're enjoying the content. If you want more Critical Role, Dungeons and Dragons, and nerd culture stuff, subscribe to the channel over on YouTube. I'd love to get to 10K within like 2 or 3 months. And if you see me post Critical Role videos, please watch them. Please, guys, watch the videos. They make good guests. Yeah, I can see that too. Piratey, yeah. Good luck, stay hydrated, and have fun. Also, don't die. Yeah, we are at about that time, guys. We're going to wrap this up. 9:43. So get your snacks, get your drinks, get your stuff set up. We're going to go ahead and end this stream. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. Let's hope for a good episode, see how things are going. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. We'll have the normal content coming out over the week, so engage with it if you see it. I appreciate you, folks. I'm actually a bit surprised there wasn't at least one D20 that came along as one of the 13 players. Yeah, I think we'll get them as guests. Deborah and Wall would also be cool. But all right, guys, thanks for hanging. Appreciate you. Follow, subscribe, click stuff, do the things. And I hope you guys have a great night and enjoy the episode.